Welcome to St Ives School of Painting's How-To series. Short lessons taken from our longer online courses, designed to help you build confidence and skills in drawing and painting, one focused exercise at a time.
I think we're going to watch along this one together, and then as we're watching I will just chat with you and kind of try and break it down a little bit for you. So this is several sort of hours condensed into 3.5 minutes, so hopefully this will be really helpful for you. So that's what the painting looked like when you last finished with me. Obviously I mentioned when we were kind of chatting earlier that when the camera had finished recording, I had looked at the piece on the wall and I had really noticed the colours I had chosen. And the first thing I had felt to myself was that it was too many colours, too bright, and it was all fighting with each other too much. So there were elements of the painting that I felt were strong, but there was just too much all at the same time. So the kind of process here was to try and pick up 1 or 2 colours and to work with them a little bit more and to block out some of the others, not completely, but just by masking them a little bit with another tone that is kind of more cohesive now throughout, which, as you can see, I'm starting to work with different layers of green. So obviously those yellow undertones do actually impact the colours on top. As you can see, they almost look like highlights now as the paint goes over them. And I think the thing that was really interesting here was obviously it was about getting in again. So that's, as you can see, sometimes I'm literally just using my hand. I'm working on the floor at this stage because I think sometimes when you need to do a big expanse and you just really want to go for it and get some decent colour down, it's actually really helpful to be at floor level because it doesn't drip. So as you're going through with the paint, obviously if you're doing wet washes and you're doing thinner paint because you want to see some of those marks, if it's up on a wall, then obviously it can just keep running and flooding, and that can be really annoying because you might like some part of it and then you sort of move to the other corner and go back and obviously it's you know, all changed because it's slipped down the canvas. So working at floor level is really good when you want to just get some washes on. So we kind of did that, and then I was, again, I mentioned earlier, I always am trying to look for kind of areas of dark and light. You'll notice that I actually went all the way round the canvas with a darker colour. I do that quite a lot in my paintings. I'm not particularly sure why I do that. I think that's just a habit for me, but it does actually have a framing sort of technique to it, so it does have a reason to do it. And I think it's just because it puts an edge on that canvas, so I feel like your eye is drawn to the middle by having a darker expanse at the edge. So maybe that's something to try if you've not done that in the past. I find it really helpful for me when I'm kind of going back in with these washes to just edge my canvas like that and to bring those lighter colours to the middle. So yeah, again, I'm sort of trying to blend some of those bigger marks. So I felt as though there was a lot of expressive markings earlier on, but I didn't feel as though they were working together. It felt too busy and just too much for me. I wanted to bring it back and just have a little bit more area of focus. So that's what we're doing in this first stage, and I'm obviously working in oil paint at the moment, and just solely with oil paint and much thinner washes, and just building up those layers of shadow to try and add some depth, so that hopefully in the next layer you'll notice that actually, you know, they really do help those little darker pockets as we go through. The other thing I think I noticed was that I had used purple. Purple's not really a colour that I lean towards, but I had kind of put that through with the sort of bright green in that first course. And I felt as though I wanted some of the warmth of the purple, but not quite as much as that was there. So obviously I wanted to kind of see it but not see it, so I think you can kind of see in those middle zones now that I've kind of just slightly masked some of the purple, but there are little areas where it's just peeping through. Brilliant. Okay, so that, I believe, is the end of the first time lapse.
Want more tips, tricks and inspiration? Each of the short lessons are taken from one of our full courses in our extensive online library. We have over 100 courses available for you to watch on demand. Visit our website to find out more, and hit subscribe for more creative inspiration.